Atlantic to the Mediterranean, the Spanish mainland and islands contain nearly 8,000 kilometers of coastline, along which over 200,000 vessels of every kind sail every year. More than 600 million tons of petroleum is transported annually around the coasts of Finisterre and through the Straits of Gibraltar. Looking at this pleasant scenery, it is easy to forget the tragic headlines which, year in, year out, fill the world's media. Shipwrecks, bereavement, missing, black tides. They all remind us of the terrible toll paid by the men and women who have made the sea their home, when storms and gales sweep in, taking human lives, and in a few instants dashing drifting ships against our shores. In order to respond efficiently to the complexity of maritime traffic, the Spanish government set up the State Society for Sea Rescue and Safety, a public body attached to the Ministry for Public Works, Transport and the Environment, through the general officers of the Merchant Navy. In 1993, Spain ratified the Hamburg Convention, whereby the Spanish government undertook to take charge of maritime safety in an area 3 times that of the national territory. The purpose of this international agreement, adopted by every nation, is to create a search and rescue network which will completely cover all the seas and oceans of the world. Following the guidelines of this overall model, the directives of the new rescue plan give priority to the following activities: defending the lives of the men and women who work on the seas, using the most modern equipment for quick response in the event of accidents or shipwrecks. The prevention of accidents caused by human or technical error and adverse weather conditions. For this purpose, a network of monitoring centers has been set up all along the Spanish coast. Like air traffic controllers, the staff use state-of-the-art technology to anticipate and alert any vessel in the area of the danger of possible collisions or emergencies lying along their route. This great technological and human undertaking is further backed by instruction and training in safety for all those who sail these waters. The aim of this report is to show the human and technical resources which are put to use to make our seas a safer and cleaner place to sail in. From the heights of the Sierra del Bujeo, the Tarifa Center monitors the gateway to the Mediterranean and tends to the heavy sea traffic sailing through the Straits of Gibraltar. This center, the oldest in operation, supervises passage of the ships through the traffic separation system installed between Europe and Africa. At the far end of the country, the northwestern coasts, often the scene of terrible storms, support a great volume of sea traffic. Since 1994, the shipping lanes at this European crossroads have been ordered using the traffic separation system put into operation in Finisterre by the International Maritime Organization. Overlooking the Muros estuary, the radar and communication equipment of the Finisterre Center covers the waters off the northwestern coast of Spain, as far as the Portuguese border. All ships sailing along the coast, including a large and active fishing fleet, are monitored and assisted in their daily work by the kinematics and telemetrology of the most complex center in the Spanish rescue organization. To enable the center to carry out its work, a series of remote stations forms a signal network all along the coast, sending data ranging from radar echoes and automatic radiogeny positioning to instant meteorological data to the screens in the center. Spain's coastal centres add to the work carried out by their counterparts in neighbouring countries to make the sea a safer place for sailing in. The day-to-day work of these centres is coordinated by the National Rescue Coordination Centre in Madrid, which acts as the true nerve centre of the Spanish organisation, in permanent contact with the general officers of the Merchant Navy. But prevention and surveillance on their own are not enough. The sea is a relentless enemy, and the rescue centres must be on constant standby for messages for help. They are then responsible for dealing with emergencies, evaluating them, setting in operation the human and material resources they have available, and coordinating the rescue operations. And when an accident does occur, the Public Maritime Rescue Service has at its disposition one final link in the chain separating life from death. The ever-growing sea and airbound fleets of the State Rescue Society form this link and include all the resources made available to the rescue service by different bodies and institutions through cooperation agreements. Five helicopters, especially designed for search and rescue operation, form one of the most efficient methods used for emergency evacuation. The crews on these craft never hesitate to head out into the worst of storms when a human life is in danger. Spain has one of the largest and most powerful fleets of open-sea rescue and anti-pollution vessels in Europe. And it is the country's geographical situation, as a crossroads between oceans and shipping lanes, that makes this necessary. These resources, operated by highly qualified professionals, demonstrated their efficiency in an accident which made world headlines at the end of 1992, the explosion of the Aegean Sea at the foot of the Tower of Hercules in La Coruña, and the rapid limitation of the environmental impact. As a backup, all along the Spanish coast, the fleet of rescue and fast-action ships includes high-speed all-weather lifeboats. The crews, made up of local sailors with a good knowledge of the sea conditions in and around their home bases, are a vital element in the work of emergency rescue along the coast. The organization also takes charge of the intensive training undergone by personnel. In 1993, the Jovellanos Integrated Maritime Safety Center was opened, one of the largest and best-equipped centers of its kind in the European Union. Theoretical and practical courses given at this center are not targeted exclusively at the members of the organization. The Jovellanos Center has been prepared to extend safety training to anyone using the sea for their livelihood or leisure. The center has an international coverage. This new plan has long been awaited by Spanish sailors and by all those who sail these seas. It involves a great effort of solidarity and at times requires the rescue workers to place their very lives in danger. According to the statistics for recent years, there are an average of 2,000 incidents per year, with 3,000 persons rescued. During work on the filming of this report, living together with the men and women of the State Marine Rescue and Safety Society, we've had the opportunity to see for ourselves the tremendous work undertaken, and we would like to thank all those involved for their cooperation.